1899 in Lords of Sierra Madre, we've got a very interesting card that just came up, the American occupation of Veracruz. That allows any player who holds it to move blue units into Mexico freely. Normally, they're restricted by the Treaty of Guadalupe. In this case, it's a very valuable card because it allows you to use blue units almost as Mexicans. They may not be as close to begin with. Some of them, though, like the Arizona Rangers, are in a pretty valuable spot to intervene in Mexican affairs. So I'll suspect that goes for a high amount. We'll see. Don Luis Terrazzo bought the Veracruz card. It also allows him to force a state of war, in which case he would get, because he's not American, all of the Mexican troop counters, all of the orange cards in the game would go over to him. That's a big bonus. However, he spent all his money on it, so he wasn't able to get any American troops, and because of that card, everybody said, oh, better get the American troops to prevent them from being used to too much of a bonus, perhaps. Slaughter, who really wanted the card, ended up picking up the 10th Cavalry under Miles, which is the top-ranking unit in the area, and that is near his base, so it'll help protect him. He wanted it. He ended up paying $2 for it. Hearst grabbed the Arizona Rangers, got them cheap for $1, and the U.S. Cav over in Texas, under Pershing, who's only a brigadier general, so it's the second-ranked one, went to Green, I think. No, who is this? No, Judge Fall, because it's near his home area. And he also paid $2 for it. I think Slaughter went up to $2 on that as well. Nothing else went. Got the railroads that finished a little while ago. Got a few things on the line right now. Another railroad here, the El Paso, which is running down to El Paso over here, and of course the big plantation, which should be showing up during the summer. Just a little late for the chance to increase, or for it to make any money, actually. But that's cool. It's in a good place. The spring card is the governorship of Chihuahua. Now this is an election, and only one person has the mounds of money to win it. He can't, Slaughter can't run for it, and he doesn't own anyone who can. But Shepard, Alexander Shepard, is probably going to put up his chief of the rurales to run for the office. And if he gets the governorship, then he gets all the military cards for that position, which would be kind of cool. People are going to obviously oppose that because a governorship's a powerful advantage, especially the people who are in Chihuahua. Hearst, Chowdhury, and Terrazzo. And they will be backing the current incumbent, who is Creole. Summer of 1899, we got a bank available. Banks are very cool in this game, and this is an American one, which makes it doubly cool, actually. Banks are good because they double the investor income that you get. So again, this is an item that might go for a decent amount. Don Terrazzo is going to use the occupation of Veracruz as an excuse for war. That'll give him all of the orange cards, which gives him all of the Mexican troops. And it'll also redispose of the American troops. He thinks he might as well take the advantage now. He doesn't see much bonus otherwise. After a couple of tactical rounds, we're in a situation where the Federales have moved up and been engaged by U.S. troops up here in Kenya. The rurales are still coming forward. They've been taxing people. Basically, the goal that Terrazos has is to try to hurt as many other players as much as possible here as he can. So he's moving through Chihuahua as well, taxing people as he goes, not himself. But over in Juarez, he's seeing the police being attacked, and that might actually be conquered. This is going to be a weird kind of war because nobody has a real goal militarily. It's just Terrazos really wants to do as much damage as he can to every other player, bring them down below his level. After taking Juarez, Pershing is getting a promotion. He's now the highest ranked U.S. officer, beating out Nelson Miles, the famed Indian fighter. Miles has suffered somewhat of a defeat facing the rurales. He's got more dice against him, and the numbers, the command ratings are the same. Terrazos is offering a deal granting Juarez to the Americans in exchange for Bisbee and Douglas. Clearly, that's a huge advantage for Terrazos, and frankly, Hearst is unwilling to make the deal. He controls Pershing right now, and believes that the Americans still have a chance of defeating at least one of the Mexican armies. And it's really not his problem if the San Bernardino and San Rafael ranches, which are owned by other people, get burned. So he's willing to allow further deprivations against the American troops. The only thing that's really dangerous here, his machine gun is likely to get attacked, along with the police there. Miles's force was victorious against the weakened stack of federales, but the Mexicans tried to push down to get a combined effort against them, figuring that would improve their odds. Came too late, and now Miles is fleeing into Mexico with the federales sort of in pursuit. They made double move, but that takes one of the few units that Terrazos would be able to keep without paying a lot for out of his hands. So he may just let them go ravage southern areas of Sonora. He may also try to come up to a negotiated end, because now Miles would be the highest ranking officer for the U.S. All right. Indeed, it's the case. There was no reason why there's that shepherd down here who runs these troops had for particularly wanting Juarez to go over to the U.S. So he agreed to somewhat less stringent terms, which is, or more stringent on the Americans, because he's handing Bisbee and Douglas counties over to be a part of Chihuahua. Sonora. We'll see how that kind of boils out of the whole thing, but it's definitely changes the games to some serious effect. For one thing, the Arizona Rangers are gone now. They can't exist unless the U.S. gets that back.